Hello again. Viewers must surely have noticed that over the last year or so, something very odd has changed about the illegal immigration taking place to this country. Small boats used to land on the shores of Kent and disgorge their passengers on the beach. Now, that never happens. All the boats, without exception, are intercepted at sea and the passengers transferred to lifeboats, vessels of the Royal Navy or cutters of the Border Force. Why on earth are these agencies all collaborating in this way with the people smugglers? Surely illegal immigration is just that, against the law. To understand what is going on, we need to look at the handbook which the Home Office issues to staff working for the Border Force. I provide a link to this interesting document in the description to this video. This is the latest edition published last July. It sets out the law relating to illegal immigration very clearly and explains how Britain is working with those entering the country illegally to help them avoid the penalties for their actions. Before going any further, perhaps we might dispose of an urban legend which has arisen among the Guardian reading classes in this country, which is to the effect that there is no such thing as an illegal immigrant and that it's not against the law to enter this country by irregular means, such as a rowing boat from France and then simply landing on a convenient beach and bypassing customs and immigration. In fact, as we can see from the staff handbook issued by the Home Office, and I quote from it now, Section 3(1)(a) of the Immigration Act 1971 states that persons who are not British citizens shall not enter the UK unless given leave in accordance with provisions in the Immigration Act 1971 or made under that Act. Entry without leave is a breach of Section 3(1)(a) and therefore constitutes illegal entry, as defined by Section 33(1) of the Immigration Act 1971, as amended by the 1996 Asylum and Immigration Act. This specifically covers, and again I quote, those who arrive at an uncontrolled point aboard a small boat or light aircraft. You can actually get 4 years imprisonment for that. The government, though, doesn't want to prosecute illegal immigrants, and for whatever reason would prefer to aid them in their endeavours. I will not go into the question of why the government should be so keen on helping these people, but the situation now is that none of those crossing the channel in small boats actually lands on British soil from their crafts. This would actually turn them immediately into illegal immigrants. Every single one is picked up at sea, and that alters the case immediately and means that because they are being brought ashore by either the lifeboat service, Border Force or Royal Navy, they no longer count as illegal immigrants. Pages 7 and 8 of the staff handbook cover this, and we need only quote the following to see what effect this has upon the situation. Individuals who have been rescued at sea and brought to the UK shore are not technically illegal entrants, provided that they submit to further examination processes described in Schedule 2 Immigration Act 1971 and must be treated as arriving passengers. And right there you have it. Illegal immigrants are being met in the Channel and transformed at the orders of the British government into arriving passengers. If they were allowed to land, then they could all be arrested at once and detained. There's no need at all for a new law. As soon as they set foot on the shore, without going through all the usual formalities, they are breaking the law and can be arrested. But for reasons at which we can only guess, this is not what the government wants. They are actually going out of their way to ensure that these people cannot be treated as illegal immigrants. I think it's fair to say that when we all heard the announcement that the Royal Navy would be taking over responsibility for dealing with all those small boats, this is not at all what we expected to happen. Illegal immigration is being aided and abetted by the British government, and the intention is to prevent the illegal immigrants from being at danger of being arrested and prosecuted. Don't take my word for it. Just read the Home Office's own handbook for their staff and judge for yourself what is going on.